So let's talk about Fallout 76 and one of its biggest issues inside the game. Minus the glitches and bugs and crashes and all that other good stuff. Let's talk about something that Fallout is known for. Heck, even Elder Scrolls is known for. That Fallout 76 is like, nah, you can't do that anymore. Hoarding! Yes! Fallout loves for you to hoard things. As soon as you find a weapon that's a legendary or armor piece, you want to go and store it away. Well, Fallout 76, the stash that you get is not pro-hoarder whatsoever. Far from it. I've actually had to scrap tons and tons of stuff just to ensure that I had space, but still having material to craft and or repair certain things. The stash is probably one of the most annoying things that they could have ever done, as in how they implemented it. You have one stash, only one, and it has a weight of 400. And junk is probably one of the biggest importance inside of Fallout 76. So one of the things that I do not understand is why would you make one stash and that's it? Not make, separate categories, as in you have in the stash section a locker, like a first aid box and all this stuff that you can unlock with plans, but they are literally the same stash, just cosmetically different. That's it. Still the 400. That's it. When I personally thought what they were going to do, because I knew that they were not going to be able to make an unlimited stash, just like in Fallout or Elder Scrolls, I understand. Because when you do an online game, as I've learned with Destiny, it requires a lot of memory for the server to have tons and tons and tons of stuff in your stash, your vault, whatever, your little bank of stuff. But you would think that they would take the time to understand that there's a difference from junk to first aid, ammo, and weapons. I do not understand why it would really cause a problem with weight or memory or whatever if there was a ton of ammo on you or in a stash that weighed nothing. And also, why is there not a stash that's specifically for weapons? Because most of the time, the reason why vaults and stashes or whatever are limited for memory is because the memory of the items or how many of the thing is in there or whatever. But there is ways to go around it by, just for example, you can bulk stuff of junk, certain types of junk. Not everything can be bulked that is in the junk category, but a decent amount of the stuff, and it will lower the weight, and not only that, we'll also put it in bulk. So instead of having 200 steel scraps, you have, bulks of that. You would have 20 bulks of 10 each steel, and it weighs way less. It makes perfect sense to do it like that, and I feel like that should allow it to become unlimited in the stash, but it's not, and that's why I would be fine if it was not unlimited with the weight, if the weight became 0, if you turned it into a bulk item. But this is the problem. Why is there not separate stashes? If they were to make the 400 stash for junk only, that would be okay for me. And then maybe have separate stashes with different weights inside of them for other types of categories. So, for example, a weapons cache can have maybe 1,000 weight. Reason why I say 1,000 is because some of the weapons that you get weigh 20 pounds. And yes, you have those perk cards, but they don't really carry over to your stash. Your stash is your stash, not your character. So you can't lower the weight of weapons because you wear a perk on your character. Can't do that. And maybe an apparel, a cabinet, and a first aid section, and then an ammo crate. I feel like this would make hoarding still able to be done in the Fallout universe with Fallout 76, but still having that, we need stability. We don't want too many things inside your stash that would cause crashes or more problems or whatever. But I don't know if they're going to really do that. They've already stated that they're looking to fix the problem. Increase the stash size is one of the things. It's like, what is that going to be? Like an extra 200 pounds? Yippee. Much that's going to do. It's not. So the biggest fix that they could do is doing different categories for the stashes instead of having just one stash. But I don't know if that is their long-term plan, because they even stated that they do have plans for the future to have a fix for the stash limit, like whatever that may be. It could be something that I just said where they do separate categories, but they're not really saying. I would love that game companies, like developers that are working on updates and so on, would actually talk about these things, even if they're just ideas and they're not full, like, yes, this is going to happen. Like, if it changes over time where they say that this can't happen, explain why. Don't just leave us in the dark, especially for a game like Fallout 76. I don't understand when there's a game that literally people are review bombing and no one is buying and they have to put it on sale, that developers still feel the need to be completely silent to their customers, to their fan base, whoever that's still playing the game. Because I would love if they were to be more vocal, not like once every couple weeks. I mean, like every single week they should have some way of communicating things and explaining what they are thinking about, ideas that they're thinking about, what they're working on now, what they plan on working on soon, just all kinds of stuff. But they just go, we have some ideas, but we don't want to talk about those ideas. It's like, tell us. We want to know. Like, what are the possibilities of fixing certain issues? And it's just, if you find legendary weapons, this is Fallout. This is Fallout 4 just with online. They did not make any sort of changes to ensure that it would make sense to work with limits inside of what you are carrying. Legendary farming, people have been doing a lot, and to try and get like the best of whatever it may be with its perk to like a weapon or armor piece. Well, sometimes you'll get something that's, okay, but not the best. It's not, the top tier kind of whatever, but you don't want to trash it. You don't want to sell it. You can't trash legendaries, but you can't throw it away. You don't want to sell it because it's what you have right now that's the best, until you get something better. And again, even then, it's just like, I don't know. Like, they should have had a system where you could dismantle these legendaries, take the perk from them, and store it to put it on something else. I don't know. There is many different ways that they could have gone with this, but they were just like, let's just make Fallout 4 and put in Fallout 76. So hoarding for the legendary weapons and such, it's not a good thing. It's really not when your stash is just so limited. Most people, like such as myself, have seen their stash being at 400 because of just junk. Like, I only have like 2 weapons in there, and they're just like a few quest ones that I've gotten that way, like nothing. But there has been occasions where I've gotten something that I was like, oh, this looks pretty good, but it's like 20 pounds. And I'm like, my stash can't hold that. Even if I get rid of certain things, it just can't hold it. And not only that, I don't know what I'm supposed to get rid of. The game doesn't really tell you that this material is worthless, or you shouldn't need to carry around this all the time, or this. And I do understand that making ammo is quite forgiving, as in like with materials. But again, do I really want to just drop ammo entirely so then I can make it later? Not really. And ammo has a weight to it, so... And not only that, you can't scrap ammo. Like, these are things that I do not understand whatsoever. You can't scrap ammo down to junk parts. Like, back to, like, lead or steel, like smelting it using acid or I don't know, just anything. You can't break down like radaways, radxes, or anything like that. You can't break down the legendaries, like I said. You can't even sell ammo. Like, that was a good idea. And I understand that they're trying to ensure that caps is a big deal inside the game because that's what their wanted system is based around. Because, you know, people will stop griefing because they become wanted. Good idea. Not really. Especially when your cap limit is always going to be going up in like 10, 30 caps, and 160 caps, 50 caps, whatever. Never by percentage. There's going to be people running around in like a few months. Already people are finding like cap exploits where they have like 30,000 caps. Do you really think they care that they have a bounty of 160 caps on them? Hell no. They are running around breaking things. There is no negative repercussion to griefing someone when you have that many caps. That's why I've already made a video saying that the PvP is just broken, but I don't understand why like they make these decisions and the stash is this way and you can't break down this that you collected. You got to just throw it away or give it to someone else. Like, I understand that you can just give certain things to other people, but are they really going to want that stuff? And there's not even a trading hub. Like, there is no like area or at any vendor you can't just be like, here's the community tab where people are selling things for certain prices, you know, like some other online games have done in the past. I don't know, that would have been something that was really cool of an idea. Like, hey, someone's selling blah 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 ammo for just like 500 rounds of 50 cal rounds, and they're selling it just for 20 caps. That's it. Hell, I'll take that. Sure, I'll buy it. You know what? I'm going to sell also, I have like 2,000 of .308 rounds. I'm going to sell 1,000 of those for 100 caps. Because if you buy stuff from a vendor, it's really expensive. But if they were to implement the way where like you are the vendor without having to, you know, meet face to face, like there was always a community hub or something, like maybe even have a terminal being allowed in the, like for the crafting section, have a terminal be set down inside your camp that acts like eBay, but it's a trading hub within the Fallout, like a server, like within the server that you're in or other servers in general. Just like anybody that's trading certain things. Like that would have been a great idea. You know, you're just roaming the world and you put up something on sale and you just get 500 or 200 caps or 100 caps or whatever for whatever that somebody bought while you're roaming, and he'll even tell you like someone bought whatever that you were selling. That would have been something interesting to fix the problem with, well, not being able to dismantle certain things and get or scrap certain things. To again fix the whole mixture of hoarding and not hoarding. Like, I want to hoard stuff, but I can't. And when I don't want to hoard, I'm punished for that because I can just drop things on the floor. The stash system is just, it's a mess, but then it starts to make a branching effect where it starts to affect many things in the game, because that's what Fallout was really about, was hoarding things. Like, just constantly going out in the world and scavenging for anything that would help craft, dismantle, even if you had 2,000 wood. Who cares? It doesn't weigh anything when you put it in your stash. Not in Fallout 76. There's a weight. It's disappointing, honestly. There's a lot of problems with Fallout 76, but in these videos that I do, in no ways am I trying to bash the game entirely. It's me, well, ranting about these issues, but also trying to give some logical answers of what they could do in response to these problems that I feel like other people are going to be also complaining about. Because, again, I'm not going to give up on Fallout 76 entirely. Unless the developers do, and we'll have to wait and see, I'm not going to quit. But at the same time, I'm not going to play it 24/7, like, as if it's like a Destiny. Like, it's frustrating with a lot of the issues inside the game. Like, if you just remove the the crashing, the glitches, the bugs, and all that other stuff, if you just remove that, there's still tons of other issues inside the game that I can talk about. that I feel like they didn't really think through when they were making this. They literally just made Fallout 4 online. That was it. Like, they could have just made an add-on, to be honest, for like $20 for Fallout 4, where you could do co-op up to 4 people in a squad into someone's save in Fallout 4. And anything that they get, they can keep to their game, to their file or whatever that they decide to do. I feel like that would have been a lot better if they wanted to experiment with online, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts. The stash needs a fix. I hope that Bethesda does something with it other than just being like, here's 200 extra weight to your stash, because that's not really going to fix the problem. There needs to be separate categories entirely, because junk, ammo, aid, apparel, and weapons should not be in the same category for a stash. It makes no sense. Like, come on. I mean, I just don't understand. People are running around with infinite weight, carrying around more than 400 pounds worth of stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe they could figure something out, but I'm not a developer, so I don't know. But either way, let's hope that something gets done. Hopefully Fallout 76 gets better. It might be a long time, but let's hope. Either way, thank you so much for listening. Chibi out.